I been missing out the walk with the minute. I been building up the blocks like a million. Elliot got water dripping out the city. Oh my God, boy he got a God. Oh my God, boy that boy on top. Sipping walk, make my heart stop. Audio, yeah my love my thigh. Yo, I let it go. Put her on roll, put that whole payroll, put that whole on go. Yeah she like to go, yeah she love to blow. Get that dick slow, like snow cone. Yo, get that bag, show 'em how to ball. I'm in the mall, you know what I'm saying? Give me a minute, yeah, I need a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm gonna tell you, hey, Cardi B and Pippin, Cardi B and kick the shit in, yeah, give me a minute,
Hey, what good, y'all? DGE, Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's your boy DG, and we here. We late night with it. Late night. We might be up until 1 o'clock today. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. 1 o'clock. You know, I gotta catch up on all this Dolphin content. You know, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe for more content. You know, y'all go get y'all merch, DG merchandise. You know, the site is up and running. Y'all go check it out. And we got a few things tonight. We got a few things. First things first, Teron Armstead, shout out to him. He just started his podcast. So he talking about the Dolphins training camp and what he been seeing out there. So he gonna be the advocate in regards to what we hoping that we getting from the Dolphins this year. He gonna let us know how Tua look, how the whole team look, DBs, everything. So let's listen up based off what Teron got to say. Let's listen up.
Start this thing off. The first thing that I say I'll take away from my observation at Dolphins camp, Tua Tagovailoa is locked in. He is locked in. He is laser focused. His command of the offense, his feel for the protection, who needs to be aligned where, his hots, progressions, it is all he is locked in. And I have been very vocal about Tua, and I am a fan of Tua. Outside of us being teammates, friends, great friends, I'm a fan of Tua as a quarterback in his game and what he has shown. So some people don't want to hear me talk about Tua because I am a fan of his game. Don't mean that I'm afraid to criticize him. I will criticize, for sure. I will criticize. When it comes up, if it comes to a point this year, Tua's not playing well, he's not performing, he's not giving the Dolphins the best chance to win, I will say that loudly. I would.
All right. We gonna hold you to it. We're gonna hold you to it, T-Stat. If Tua play bad, I'm coming right back to you. Right back to you.
And I will tell him that with no problem.
Yeah, right.
But what I have seen from him, what I have observed closely and from a distance, the guy works. He's working to get better. He's working to improve his position, and not only for himself, but for the betterment of the team. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So y'all not going to get me to come in here and dog Tua. If we get into the season, he played well, he turning the ball over, I'm going to say that. I will criticize him. I will. Present day, from those two practices that I saw, Tua Tagovailoa is locked in. He's sharp. He's laser focused. He threw his first interception. I didn't see it, so I was there Friday and Saturday. Sunday, he threw his.
That's crazy. It's like a rare finding to see Tua throw a pick during practice. That's crazy, but I don't know, man. They better translate to the games. It got to. You know, that Buffalo Bills game last year, 3 picks. Come on, man.
His first interception, Minkah Fitzpatrick. picked them off in the red zone, would have took it for 6. It's been a lot of passes that has happened between that all the passes he's made in his first interception. He's locked in. He knows where his guys are and where they're going to be. So
I don't know. I don't know, T-Stat. I've been through a lot of pain. A lot of pain. I'm gonna go through my notes from training camp when I went. I was just on the bleachers, just reading it out. Not reading, but writing. I put Darren Waller. He was conditioning on the sidelines. Zeke Biggers, like Raekwon Davis. Farrell Brown showed strength in blocking. You know, he was definitely blocking the linebackers pretty well. KJ Britt starts first team D. I don't know. I think it's going to be a mixture of KJ Britt and Willie Gay. You know, but I think Willie Gay going to get more of the LB2 snaps, you know, but we still got Tyrell Dodson, to be honest. We still got him. Missed snap from Brewer. It was his first practice back, so as expected, you know, he just got to get comfortable. Minka presence could be felt in the run game. Definitely was in the backfield tackling. You know, all the DBs were doing that. All the DBs. Jalen Wright looks more agile, more quick, more smooth. He don't seem like a one-cut running back no more. You know, he could do a lot of things out there. A lot of things. Defense stopping the run well, sideline to sideline. You know, our defense could definitely move well. You know, you definitely see Kenneth Grant moving sideline to sideline. All the DNs. You know, everybody running to the ball. I could definitely notice that when I was out there. DBs are attacking the backfield. You know, if a running back is running towards the sideline, the DBs have a perfect chance of making a tackle. So them DBs, they got to be aggressive. Zach Wilson throws a pick to Adrian Colbert. Could fight for a spot on the 53-man roster. Adrian Colbert, he impressive. You know, 6'1", you know, almost 200 pounds. I'm impressed by his size. You know, I think he could find himself on the 53, especially since Ashton Davis, I seen him on the sideline with a cast on. So I don't even think he's going to play the whole year. I think he done. Ollie Gordon shows good contact balance. You know, he definitely did during his run plays at practice. Quinn Ewers throwing off platform. But I don't think his arm is strong enough. But maybe I could be wrong. I was impressed by Quinn Ewers. He looked like he was a little comfortable with the offense because he was just doing things that the other quarterbacks weren't doing, to be honest, by the way he was throwing the ball and all that. You know, it felt like he was trying to practice his inner Aaron Rodgers based off what I was seeing. But we're going to see during our preseason, our first game, I think is on the 10th, right? I'm not too sure, in Chicago. So we're going to check that out. Julian Hill, he looks more smooth than last year, you know, a little bit more quicker. We already know he's going to be a good blocker, but we got to see what he could do when the ball is in his hands. We got to see something, especially since Jonnu Smith is with the Steelers. Julian Hill, he got to show up. He got to. Waddle with a one-handed grab. Good pass protection by the O-line. You know, when Tua got time in that pocket, Tua, he gonna get it to Waddle or Tyreek. Like, we got a lot of weapons out there. So if the O-line could hold up, our offense will put up points. I think so. We definitely will. Screen pass to Tyreek, but defense is swarming to the ball. They are sideline to sideline consistently. Like, I feel like they get disciplined if they don't run sideline to sideline. You know, it's a must. So that's going to be one thing you're going to notice about this team. You know, everybody going to be flying to the ball. Everybody. Zach Wilson plays like he wants to join defense. Keeps throwing ball to opposing team. He looks lost. So that tells you everything you got to know. You know, I feel like Zach Wilson, he QB3 right now based off what I saw. You know, but he had a lot of big throws. You know, I say Zach Wilson kind of looked better, but he took more risk than Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, it seemed like he going to go in and throw less interceptions than Zach Wilson. That's what it seemed like. Julian Hill must make the most out of his opportunities for us to trust him. Will be a good blocker. Seems better as a receiver. I just mentioned that. Armstrong looks like David Davis from last year, flashing during practice. I don't know if y'all remember David Davis, the guy who got injured, the neck injury last year in the preseason. He looks just like him at out practice, you know. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for Armstrong. He looked pretty good out there. Every time the ball came to him, he did something with the ball. I like that. Kamara is healthy. Somebody said Kamara was injured, but it looked like he's healthy. Tyreek Hill burns Storm Duck orange jersey for a big game. So even though Storm Duck got that orange jersey, you know, he was still out there getting burned by Tyreek. You know, but Tyreek, he the best of the best. You know, our best DB pretty much is Storm Duck, and he getting burnt by Tyreek. So hopefully Storm Duck getting all this work and it's helping him become a better cornerback. You know, he should be at least an average cornerback by going up against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, at least. Good pressure by Chop on Borum, blowing up the veteran. Chop, he definitely got stronger. You could tell. You could tell. He definitely got stronger. He knew the assignment this offseason. He knew it. No competition for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, he was out there doing whatever he want. You know, compared to us having Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey. You know, Tyreek, he not really getting work like that no more. He's not. He's not. D-line pressure will be key for the defense success. Yeah, if the defense get back there, the DB's job gonna be way easier. Way easier. Zach Wilson footwork doesn't align with timing of the offense sometimes. You know, with Quinn Ewers, his footwork seemed like it's better than Zach Wilson, and that footwork ties into you being a good quarterback. But Zach Wilson, it don't seem like his upper body is going along with his lower body. He's still out there confused. But when he gets it, he does throw the ball well. He does, but it seemed like Quinn Ewers, you would trust him more, and he could be more consistent. You know, Taj Washington more explosive. Might work on special teams. I don't know. There's a lot of guys that they trying out right now. We're gonna see who get it. I seen Jalen Wright. Who else I seen? I think I seen A Chain. But we gonna see. Jonah and Patrick Paul got extra work in on the sideline on stunts. Left side should be very good. O-line worked on stunts on the sideline. So the whole O-line worked on stunts pretty much. So it seemed like they get confused a lot about stunts. So they was working on that on the sideline with Coach Barry, Butch Barry. Baldwin looks faster than expected. He was another guy on special teams that they were trying out. Looks pretty fast, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I was surprised by his speed. Surprised. Anthony Weaver and Mike McDaniel had a one-on-one on the sideline. You know, it seems like they meet up throughout practice just to make sure what type of looks they giving each other. You know, I think one of the players said it's like some of the plays are meant for the defense to win, and some of the plays are meant for the offense to win, just so it could be like an even level of confidence. You know, defense making plays, offense making plays, to be honest. So Alec Ingold goes down during practice. Yeah, that was a scary one. He wasn't moving for a bit. He was not moving. I was scared about this one. Definitely scared. A-Chain getting reps on the outside, outside receiver. A-Chain was getting reps. Mike Hilton gets a safety on a running back. So they already got Mike Hilton blitzing, but you can tell like he used to being in the backfield. You know, some DBs, they get in the backfield, they scared, they can't tackle. They can't do nothing. But Mike Hilton, he gonna come down and he gonna lay that wood. He will. For sure. Shout out to my boy Daniel. DG, great video. What's your view on Tanner Connor? I'm not sure when we can count on Waller. Is our new AVG Willie Gay? I think Willie Gay more explosive, but I think AVG more versatile than Willie Gay. You know, the stuff that AVG be doing, I don't think Willie Gay could do that. I don't think that's in his game. I don't think he could ever get to that AVG level, but he could be a very good linebacker for sure. You know, I think he will be a good linebacker. I think so. Let me see. A-Chain still getting a lot of work in the receiving game. Still throwing them a lot of balls. A lot of screenplays. Offense will be on the move more. You know, we're not going to try to like sit in the pocket. I think they're going to try to move the pocket a lot. Try to get two out there in space and try to find our guys in open space. Maybe, who knows? Chubb looks like Chubb. Let's pray he stays healthy. A lot of rap on the injured knee. You know, you could tell like he had a lot of stuff on that knee that he injured. You know, hopefully he's still okay, but I don't know. It's kind of scary just seeing it during practice. Like, damn, all that rap. And you could tell he was kind of limping out there, but you know, at least he getting that work in, and hopefully he's still getting like healthier throughout practice and not getting worse. Hopefully. Zach Wilson, the fastest QB on the Dolphins, easily. Easily. If you want to run the ball, put Zach Wilson in. Put Zach Wilson in. Nobody else. I seen Tua run, and I don't think Tua can ever get there. I don't think so. Quinn Ewers, I don't think so either. I don't think so. Jones making plays in the backfield, pretty good for a corner. I'm talking about Jack Jones, pretty good when he go in the backfield making tackles. So him and Mike Hilton, they're gonna get a lot of TFLs this year. They're gonna get a lot of sacks this year for a DB. You know, Dolphins will have a top half run defense. You know, the way the defense was flying to the ball, man, I think our run defense is going to be a top half, top 15 minimum. So, good coverage by Adrian Colbert. We hear him again on Taj Washington. So, Adrian Colbert, he's showing up during practice. I think he's going to at least make the practice squad. You know, we picked him up as a UDFA last year from Rhode Island. Good numbers, 4.4s, high vertical jump, very high. So, you know, we might be able to turn him into a corner. I wouldn't mind just putting him on like cornerback / safety. I wouldn't mind that with Adrian. We gotta see. Theo Weiss has a good shot, good connection with Quinn Ewers. You know, every time them boys in together, Quinn Ewers making something happen with Theo. Every time they end together, he making something happen with Theo. Theo, I do like him as well. You know, former 5-star recruit. You know, people forget that about Theo. I don't know how he went undrafted, but you know, he had a pretty good year with Missouri. You know, he was with that other receiver for the Bears, Luther Burden. So he's kind of getting outshined at Missouri, so nobody really looked at him. You know, but hey, he on the Dolphins. We gonna see if he gonna make the roster. We gonna see. We got some spots for him. We got some spots. Willie Gay looks like a hit alongside Jordan Brooks. You know, I think we got a top 5 linebacking duo right now. Top 5. Jordan Brooks and Willie Gay. You know, nobody really talking about us, but like the first 3 games, watch what noise we gonna make with our linebacker. You know, running back gonna be scared about they're gonna be scared going up against the Dolphins linebacker. They're gonna be scared. You know, you got the game plan against us. You know, we might be just as fast. You know, your running backs might be a little faster than our linebackers, but you know, Jordan Brooks and Willie Gay, they gonna get home. You know, behind Zach Schiller, shout out to him. He just signed his contract. You know, and Kenneth Graham. You know, and we got Maryland, and we got Biggers. You know, we got depth. You know, so next Tua throws a pick to Minka, and Tyreek tries to hawk him down. I'm gonna try to find this video. I think somebody put this on Twitter. I'm gonna try to find it. Tua finds Nick Westbrook for a touchdown in the red zone. You know, Nick, I ain't hear nothing from him until we got to the red zone. As soon as we got to the red zone, that's when Nick came in, boom, touchdown, easy. So I think we're gonna use him the same way that Tennessee used them. You know, in that red zone package. You know, you're gonna have at least 5 touchdowns this year. At least 5. I give him that. At least 5. Izukama with a drop pass from Wilson. Right after this, right after practice, Izukama, he went to the machine, boom, catching him. Izukama, he trying to stay on this team, man. He working hard. He working hard, man. But he know like there's a lot of competition in the room, outdoing them right now. So, he missed that catch in the red zone. So he's trying to make up for it by just going in it. Excuse me, by just going on the jug machine, and hopefully his hands get better. Hopefully. TD to Taj Washington in the red zone from Zach Wilson. That was a pretty good throw by Zach Wilson. Wilson outperformed Quinn today, but Zach Wilson lets it loose more, but makes more mistakes. So I think it's because maybe Zach Wilson is a veteran, so he gonna let it loose more. But at the same time, I don't know. Quinn Ewers, it seems like he's more polished out there, way more polished. So we gonna see. Even though Zach Wilson threw the more touchdowns today, he took the most shots. So do you want a conservative quarterback as your backup, or do you want somebody who could let it loose? Because some of the throws that Zach Wilson be making, they pretty nice. They pretty nice. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. After I'm done reading this, I'm gonna get to y'all comments. Hold on. Linebackers pray together. So all the linebackers after practice, they all pray together, sat down together, talked. A very humble group, but when they on that field, they dogs. When they on that field, they dogs. All the DBs did push-ups. Brewer and Jonah, they did gasserts, running back and forth. Got that extra work in. Kickers and punters running gasserts. They don't do nothing during practice, so they might as well run gasserts. Izu Kama on the jug machine, like I told y'all, after that missed touchdown grab in the end zone, getting that extra work in. Jack Jones and Cornell Armstrong getting extra work in. The new DBs, might be starters. Shout out to Cornell Armstrong, former Dolphin himself. Let's check him out, man. I ain't really check him out. All D tackles work with Zach Sealer extra after practice as well. So right after Zach Sealer signed that extension, no, not right after, right before he signed that contract extension. Zach Sealer, he's just a prime example for the Dolphins. There's a reason why we let go of Christian Wilkins and we kept Zach Sealer. Now we really see why. Based off everything that Christian Wilkins got going on right now, I don't know. Hopefully he okay. Hopefully he okay. Maybe I should get to that because I ain't really get into depth about that Christian Wilkins situation. I'm a little nervous about getting into depth about that one, but there's a few things that's been going around that people are assuming, is. Let me just pull it up real quick. Hold on. But we haven't heard anything from Christian Wilkins yet. He hasn't came out and said nothing. You see, this is what Zach Sealer. This is what Zach Sealer had to say about Christian Wilkins.
And I think that I love Christian like a brother. He's the godfather to my son, and he's that for a reason. I love that man. He is a character in every sense of the being, and I think that everything he does is with passion and energy. And I do hate to see him going through this, and I know he'll bounce back. And I don't know all the aspects. I've actually asked him specifically not to give me any of the details, and I don't want to know. What they're working through is what they're working through, but I know I will be here for him any day he needs to call, anytime he needs to give me a ring and just talk about life or anything outside of that. I'm always here for him, and I always will be.
But that's his homeboy. He gonna ride for his homeboy no matter what. He will, But you see, like this make you like think twice. It make you think twice about like what's going on with Christian. Like, yo, like, see, even to Josh Allen, that's wild. Yo, let me get to the comments, man. Okay, you watching the preseason game? If so, what will you focus on the most? I will focus on the quarterbacks, the Dolphins quarterbacks, how they do against the Chicago Bears defense. Pretty tough defense. You know, Dennis Allen, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. So I want to see how the quarterbacks do in that type of weather as well. It's not going to be a great environment. It should be okay over there, but we're going to see how Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers do. That's my main focus. Channing Tindall, of course. Izukama, of course. You know them boys show out for preseason. We know that. A-Chain belongs outside as a receiver more than running back. Letting him get beat up inside is a waste. Use another running back to run inside. You're right. You're right. That's why the Dolphins are using him a lot on the outside as a receiver for screenplays and all that. It was definitely. Good evening, DG and our Dolphin gang. Everyone hit that like button, subscribe, and support DG. Get your shopping on with the DG merchandise. Let's go. Let's shout out to my boy Crazy Dolphin. Shout out to my boy Crazy Dolphin. Fish will still suck. Oh, what type of fish you talking about? Tuna? That's the fish you talking about? But yeah, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic. But yeah, Christian, fam, I hope everything get better. You know, I know it's gonna be like this. This is what his teammate had to say. Adam Butler. You know, I think he played with the Dolphins for a little bit too. A lot when Flores was here. You know, familiar with that Patriot scheme. But let's hear what he had to say. You know, it seemed like he took this personal.
A lot of controversy around the defensive line group after the release of Christian Wilkins. How have you seen your unit be able to leave that as just outside noise and hone in on your craft?
Yeah, we pretty much just kind of moved on from the situation. You know, I really don't want to comment further on it. But I will say,
bro, Film look traumatized, bro. He look traumatized, like he don't know what's going on, dog. Like what Christian do to you? Please let us know. I'm thinking about bringing Christian back, you know, to pair alongside Kenneth Grant. If we bring Christian back, I'm not even thinking about Calais. I'm not. Our D-line room is so deep at that point. So deep.
that, you know, whatever you're going through as a person, you know, athlete, non-athlete, whoever, whatever your struggle is, if you got something going on in life, just, you know, talk to somebody. Get some therapy. You know, whatever your deal is your deal. Somebody out there in this world full of billions of people is willing to listen. Mm-hmm. They're willing to listen, hear you out, and help you work through whatever you need to work through. But don't make any hasty decisions. Get help.
A lot of
hasty. Let me search up the definition of hasty. Hasty definition. Done or acting with excessive speed or urgency. So he probably did something too quick, you know, and the boys got mad about it. That's probably what happened. Here's what Teron had to say about it.
What happened in Vegas? The early reports come out that Christian was released due to his unwillingness to rehab and to get his foot back to where he can play and be ready for the 2025 season. I call bullshit on that right out the gate.
Something gotta be going on though. Something gotta be going on. You can't fool us, T-Stat. You can't. You know, I'm starting to think it could be CTE. Who knows? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. That surgery Wilkins needs will keep him out for 16 weeks. So he'll be out for a whole nother season, you think? That's way too long to be healing from an injury. You might be done after that. You might be done, but hey, shout out to Chris Greer. Shout out to him. We ain't signed him to that contract.
If you want to label somebody lazy, they don't care, they are not working hard, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, being a professional, Christian would be the last person you could throw that label on. He is the dude is obsessed with football. He's obsessed with work. He loves it. Loves the game. Loves the sport. Loves the thought of it.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe, man. But Christian, he always be doing stuff that guys his size shouldn't be doing. Like this right here. Like, come on, you over 300 pounds, fam. Like, just chill out. Just chill, fam. No need for all that. Like, look what Brandon Jones did. Hey, watch out, man. Hey, stop. You see? Yo, you almost tore my neck ACL. What? But Christian, he could have been a cheerleader, low key. Good team spirit. He was like the energy of the team, to be honest. But he said he calling it false. Everything everybody's saying, he calling it false. They snap. They say Christian Wilkins to Brock Bowers. They snap. Bruh, social media is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Social media is crazy. You hear one situation and all your demons come back to haunt you. Gesicki even look back. Gesicki was scared to look back. Gesicki was scared to look back, man. Yeah, oh hell no. That's Christian behind me? Nah, I can't look at that. Embry in front of him, Christian behind him. Yeah, like, y'all boys chill out, man. Give Gesicki his space, dog. Y'all play him twice a year. Y'all so close to him. Y'all play him twice a year. That's crazy right there. Like I even said this, like, I love Christian Wilkins, but I thought that we should have drafted Dexter Lawrence over Christian Wilkins. Bigger presence, more physical, stronger, a nose tackle leading the league in sacks. He was leading the league in sacks in October of last year, of 2024. And Chris Greer drafted Christian Wilkins over him. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This was a major miss. Like, if we had Dexter Lawrence on this team, I don't think we would have had Kenneth Grant. But at the same time, it's just like this would have been a better choice over Christian Wilkins. Way better choice. See, Christian Wilkins, he was doing his thing, man. He was. One thing about Christian, he was a very good block shedder. One of the best in the league. One of the best. Christian was a funny guy, dog. Christian was funny. Like, Christian, why you gotta do all that right there? Why you jump off sides? Just let it be. He always had to do something extra. Always. But that's probably what Adam Butler talking about. He's just quick to react. just so quick to react without any repercussions, it's just like maybe that's the issue. Crazy. Man, I don't know how to feel about this one.
What's the latest you're hearing on Christian Wilkins?
Dolphins don't plan to let Christian Wilkins leave, and if that means franchising him, that's likely what they'll do. The problem is, Dolphins are in pretty big cap trouble. As of right now, they're projecting to be $50 million or more over the cap once that cap is finally settled. And they would have to clear that much room just to get under the cap. And if they tag Wilkins, they got to clear another $21 million to get.
But we had to let go of Christian just so we could get Calais. Just so we could get Kenneth Grant too. So just from us getting rid of Christian Wilkins, we got Calais and we got Kenneth Grant. That's how I view it. So I feel like it's a win on our end. And on top of that, look, Christian Wilkins, he's not even playing right now. So definitely a win on the Dolphin side. Most definitely. All right. Next, I got Weaver, Coach Weaver.
Wait, is this you and trying to build a website? Because I got you.
Oh? We've been, certain people, I should say, me included, are very high on the front seven, thinking that they could be a playmaking, game-changing unit. What do you see from them, and what are you expecting from them?
I see all the same things, and I think the sky's the limit. And it all starts, right? The bar is set to me by the leadership of those guys, and in that front seven, we have leaders on every level. Start with Zach Sealer up front with the D-line. I got to give credit to Benito Jones, too. Probably doesn't get mentioned a lot as a leader, but the growth I've seen in him in 2 years has been tremendous. He's trying to help some of these young bucks come along with their technique and fundamentals and strain and things of that nature. Outside back, we have a ton of them, right? You talk Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson coming into year 2. All those guys are not just leaders by example, just in terms of how they work and their approach to work every day and just knowing that there's no governor on them. But they're also trying to influence some of these guys like Quentin Bell, who is an older player, but is still trying to refine his game and find his way. Mo Kamara, Cam Good, they've been tremendous influences on them. And then when you talk about our inside backers with Terrell Dotson, Jordan Brooks, the leadership strides they've made coming into year 2 have been outstanding. And they're all like flag bearers for what we're trying to do from a culture standpoint. So the expectations we have for that front seven, they're high, and rightfully so. But that standard has been set daily by those guys, and that's why we have those expectations.
What kind of a message you sent to them?
Okay. One thing about Weaver, he may sound good even when it's not. He ain't saying nothing about the DBs, but we gonna see.
Players when a guy like Zach Sealer gets you on board?
I mean, so let me go back. Adelius Thomas has been here with our Bill Walsh minority internship. And to me, their paths are very similar, right? Adelius was a 6th-round pick, right? He was fighting to stay on a roster that ended up winning a Super Bowl. But every accolade he achieved was earned. Zach Sealer has done the same thing. He deserved this seat at the table. He deserved the reward that has come from it. And I think it's a testament to just the importance of just hard work, right? And just not being denied, just knowing that if you keep trying to do the right thing daily, you'll be rewarded for it. So hopefully there's residuals throughout the organization because of that.
What to ask you about?
So they gave the money to Zach Sealer because, he shows it every day, like he working hard nonstop. So he wants the whole team to be, set as an example in regards to Zach Sealer getting that contract. You will get paid if you do the same thing that he do. You will get paid.
Everybody's favorite topic, which is cornerback.
Yeah.
We see the unit out there. They're holding their own. Obviously, you're you're leaning a lot on the front seven, but can you hold up for an entire season playing zone with the talent that you have there?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a tremendous amount of faith in who we have playing out there right now, in our coaches, and in our front seven's ability to help them. But
So you're not going to add one more person? You're not going to add one more person, one more DB? Come on, coach. Come on, coach. I know you're confident in yourself, but we got to add one more DB. We got to add one more. Please, coach. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. You seen how it went last time with Chris Greer, who said the O-line is good enough. You seen what happened?
the one thing I know about that group, Storm Duck, Ethan Bonner, Kendall Sheffield, I can go on, is that they come out here every day and compete, which is all we ask for. And we know that because of that, right? You talk about iron sharpen iron. They're going to face better receivers than the guys that we have. So through that competition, both individually and collectively as a whole, that group is getting better. And when you have that mindset going into the day, right? Like you can't help but respond to just what we're trying to do as a defense, right? So as we play better up front, those guys gain confidence both in their technique and fundamentals, and you're seeing that come to life. So while we may not have some of the names that you're used to around here in the secondary, no, I think that because we do have Minka Fitzpatrick. Let's not act like we're just, right? We don't have any names out there. But those guys are fighting to make a name for themselves, and I think you're going to see that once the regular season starts.
So you pretty much got guys who's still trying to prove themselves, but you know they known throughout their whole career to make plays. You know, we got the hoodlums at DBs because we know that those type of DBs, they gonna get their hands on the ball, they gonna make plays in the backfield. You know, Mike Hilton, you know, he one of them boys. You know, Jack Jones, definitely one of them. Storm Duck, I don't think he one of them. Ethan Botter, nah. You know, but hopefully that culture is getting set on everybody. So when they go in there, they're playing just like them. Tough and physical.
That question, when you evaluate your young corners, what quality above all others stands out as most important to you?
Competitiveness, right? You got to have a short memory at that position because you're going to give up plays. The great ones do. But just being able to respond and play the next snap. And the thing about all those guys is they've had that, right? Now, some of that, there's been some growth where you had to talk to them like, hey, put that snap behind you, let's ride. Trust your technique and fundamentals, trust your ability. And we just we chip away at some of the outer layers, knowing that there's greatness, there's a sculpture in there that we're all going to love. And we're just trying to chip some of those pieces off to make sure we get there. But all those guys, man, I love them all to a T.
Have you ever wondered how the world's currencies are traded? The foreign exchange market, also known as...
And I know that whatever they're supposed to be, they'll be, and it'll be good enough for us to go out there and play great defense.
I want to ask you about Minka. How much can he help those young corners? And with Jalen Ramsey no longer here, is he now your ultimate chess piece?
Minka's a stud. I'm so happy that he's here, not just because of who he is as a player, but obviously for the intangibles he brings off the field. I can see us doing some things with him.
No, I'm good, Billy. I'm good. I don't know. That's a big risk right there, big risk. But Zach Sealer's saying he good. That's what Zach Sealer's saying. You know, Christian, it seems like he one of those guys that I don't think he would be opposed to coming back to Miami. But I don't know if I would want him back. I don't know. Salute to my boy Billy. What's good, my boy? What is good?
I'll have to wait for the opponents to try to figure that out come the regular season, but we have plans for sure.
How does his ability to come out and play corner for the slot for those positions, also Iffy's college experience as corner, how does those two guys having such good coverage backgrounds kind of ease the stress in the entire secondary?
Oh, man. You got him, Iffy, Ashton Davis, Elijah Campbell has played nickel here in the past. And we've yet to see exactly what the Dante Trader kid can bring too. So those guys in the safety position that have that multiple skill set that can do a bunch of jobs, that's going to create some angst in the offense because they're not going to know who's in, who's doing what, right? Particularly when you have three of them on the field at the same time. So my brain starts immediately spinning about all the angst and hesitation you can cause in the offense because they don't know what they're going to do. And their ability to play, man, I think you guys see when we go one-on-ones every day, Minka he guards Tyreek every day, which haven't had a lot of safeties that can do that. So, man, it's just fun. And yes, I think that group collectively can be chess pieces. It's not just Minka. I think we can do a lot with the skill sets they have.
Even then, speaking of different skill sets, obviously,
I'm telling you, it's obvious what we brought them boys in for. It's obvious. It's obvious.
you got edge rushers who can rush the passer. You got a D lineman and Sealer who can rush the passer. But yesterday we saw Mike Hilton put a hit stick on Jalen Wright.
Yeah, man.
Safety. So when you see you play like that, I mean, what kind of gears start shifting in your brain, knowing you have a DB who can rush passer too?
Yeah, I think if anybody knows Mike Hilton, they know that he can blitz. So I'm gonna take advantage of that skill set for sure. And the thing I love about Mike is he's a pro's pro, right? He's out there attacking the field every day, both on and off, trying to make sure he gets the playbook and schematic things right. And then he's a great example for some of these younger guys because he's been, I think this is his third team now.
I think the Dolphins learned maybe a defensive veteran is not that bad. You know, after experiencing Calais Campbell, it was like, hey, Calais Campbell worked so good to the point where, hey, we might as well just do this with, Jones, Hilton, just add good veteran guys that everybody think that they're not good no more or they're too old, whatever it is. We'll pick them up and we'll turn them up. So we're going to have a lot of veterans, turning up with the Dolphins, and we're going to see who's going to do the best. We're going to see.
Has been a high-level player in this league for a long time, and they can see the path and the things it takes to be able to do that. So I love the fact that he's here.
You talked about year two for Chop. What's maybe an overlooked attribute he has, and what can you say about how he's taken on these year two challenges?
The thing I love most about Chop is that regardless of the success he's had, both in college being a first-round pick and obviously how he finished the year a year ago with all the successes, is he is incredibly humble and incredibly hungry. And usually when you have that combination of the two and you have his skill set, success is on the horizon. So I think it's just his humility and his hunger to be great.
I feel I might be misremembering exactly who was there, but Mike told us that he had a conversation with Jack Jones when he first got here.
Okay.
6 a.m. chat about seizing your opportunities, being in control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
Was you part of that conversation?
I was not. But go ahead.
For somebody like Jack, who obviously is so talented, but hasn't been able to stay out of trouble off the field, like what kind of messaging do you give him, considering his opportunity on the field?
Yeah. I love Jack Jones. And my only message to him was, be yourself and go out there and be a great teammate. And if you do that, the rest of the things will take care of themselves. Now, in being a great teammate, that means you got to handle your responsibilities off the field.
Exactly. There you go. I thought you were going to miss that one. There you go. You in Miami, Jack Jones, he could easily turn up in Miami, but it seemed like Weaver, he got it locked down with all the DBs. I trust Weaver, so if you bring in somebody that's known for causing chaos on defense, I think Weaver would be able to handle him. Like if Tyreek Hill was on defense, I think he would be, less in trouble, to be honest, because I think he will get more discipline from Weaver's side, but now he's getting discipline from the new receiving coach. So Mike Medino doesn't really have to do it,
Your life can't be in chaos off of it and then expect to come in here and be in alignment with what we're trying to do. And everything he's promised he would do, he's done to date. It's undeniable that he has a skill set to go out there and compete in the National Football League. I mean, how many pick sixes does a guy have? Yeah. So the one thing I don't want him to do is feel pressure that he needs to change and be somebody he's not. I think there's just a normal growth and evolution that we're all going through as people, and we're just trying to help him along.
Jack Jones interceptions.
What would be your message for Kenneth Grant?
Jack Jones interceptions. I want to see how much interceptions he has gotten so far. He had 3 last year. Stats. He went to Arizona State. Was he there with Jaden Daniels? Okay, so he came in 2022. It looked weird, but he had 2 interceptions, 0 this year. He barely played. So whenever he played a lot of games, he get a decent amount of interceptions, like 2, 3. You know, if he stay healthy with the Dolphins, I think he get at least 4. 4 could be a good number for him. 7 total, 4 career touchdowns. 4 career touchdowns. That means you're a playmaker. That means you're a playmaker, man. So you're gonna get at least 1 touchdown on defense for us. At least 1.
And any of the other first-year players for that joint practice at Chicago?
To trust their technique and fundamentals in their training. The thing that happens a lot, particularly with younger players, is when they get in the fire and you're outside of your normal where you're practicing against the same guy every day, is they start to revert back to old habits. We're trying to make this new training their new habits. So that to me is the biggest thing. Just making sure you don't revert back to some of the things you've done in the past and you try to do what you've been trained to do to this point.
How is Kenneth looking?
Awesome. He's everything we thought would be. I think his game particularly comes to life when the pads come on, right? And you've seen the impact he can have both in the middle of the pocket as a run defender and as a pass rusher.
All right, so 2 digital marketers walk into a coffee shop. One orders a blend of search and social. The other orders...
Yeah. Yeah, they're everything we've expected them to be. Those guys have had the careers they've had for a reason. They have very high expectations of themselves, and they practice to that. So when you have guys that have reached the ceilings they've had and still come out and put the work ethic and effort they've put forth on the practice field, there's residuals with that with all the guys. So I love that they're out there competing the way they do, and we're going to be a good defense because of that.
Coach, talk about the safeties. Obviously, KJ Grant, Willie Gay, the 3 defensive tackles you guys draft. First part, is it safe to assume that building out the teeth of the defense is important to you guys this year? And if so, how has the returns on that been 10 days of the game? It's been great.
I think great defenses are built up the middle, right? You got to be strong up the middle, and that's going to force the ball to edges. And fortunately, we have great edges, both at the defensive end spot, and then if those backers, they have to fill in the alley, or safeties. So feel really strong about that. We're constantly working, right, every day to make sure we're solid from a technique and schematic standpoint, but really, really thrilled with the additions we've made.
What do you think of Willie Gay's camp?
Oh, man. Gosh, dog. You guys have seen it, right? The guys all over the place. That linebacker room with Joe Barry, Matt O'Donnell, and all the work that those guys have put in, I feel like we have multiple starters in that room, guys that can come out here and play for us. Now it'll be our job from a coaching standpoint to see how many of those guys we can get on the field at the same time to go out there and wreak havoc.
Nah, them boys gonna bring that pain, man. Them boys gonna bring that pain. He's averaging 2 picks a game. Against New England. Okay, we're gonna see if he's gonna do the same thing when we go up against them. They asked him about Patriots, but he wasn't really interested in regards to bringing them boys up. He just worried about the Dolphins. So shout out to Jones. Shout out to him.
Quarterbacks here, but Cam Smith, we heard Mike say yesterday, like we're all waiting his ability to stay on the field. How difficult
Cam Smith
evaluation for him in year 3 when 10 days in he's already on the side.
Yeah, and you feel for Cam because the want to is there, the fight is there. It's just hard to have steady growth when you can't be on the field. So the challenge to him ultimately is just to see if he can get healthy and be out there consistently for his team. But until that happens, obviously the monumental gains will be difficult.
All right, guys.
That's bad news right there. Cam Smith, bro. Cam Smith hurt again. Cam Smith hurt again. We cannot catch a break. Can we? Nope. What else I wanted to show y'all? The top 10 speed ratings on Madden. Wanted to show y'all this. Got Xavier Worthy, 99 speed. Tyreek Hill, you done got replaced. Jameson Williams, they're saying he's the same speed as Tyreek Hill. Same speed, 98, 98. I think they gave Tyreek Hill 98 to humble him. You know what? You've been misbehaving this whole offseason. You couldn't even get 1,000 yards last year. Everything that you doing, you don't deserve a 99 speed, 98. Now show us if you really like that this year. Show us. You're gonna have to show us. So 98 speed, kind of disrespectful, but hey, I understand what they doing. I understand. Brian Thomas Jr., 97 speed, same speed as Jalen Waddle, 97 speed. Kavontae Turpin, 97 speed. Shout out to him. I remember him from TCU. Christian Watson, 96 speed. Christian Gonzalez, 96 speed. Crazy. Tyreek Hill, be careful. He could easily lock down Tyreek Hill. He longer, not faster, but a big cornerback with this type of speed. Come on, man. You definitely stand toe to toe with Tyreek Hill. You could definitely shut down his side. I keep on forgetting about Christian Gonzalez. He's gonna be a dog. Darren Porter, 96 speed. Devon A. 96 speed. At least you got 3 players on the list. At least, but Xavier Worthy, new 99. Jameson Williams, he's close to that 99, but 98. Same thing with Tyreek. Same thing with Brian. I think Brian Thomas Jr. got a chance to get to 99. If he show us a little bit of something this year, he has a good chance. I think so. All right. Another thing I wanted to react to with y'all. So we got Caleb Williams. Like, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I don't know what's going on. He had practice. He can't hit the target. And look what happens after. Yo. What's going on, man? What? Bro, you good? He didn't hit one target. Former number 1 overall pick, not one target. Yo, Caleb, it's not worth it, dog. Whatever you're going through, bro, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. The person that did the ratings is a Dolphins fan. If there was a Dolphin fan, they would have gave Tyreek Hill a 99, even after a bad year last year, and he would have still got a 99. I don't know. I don't know. But Caleb Williams, let us know what's going on, man. Let us know. Bro, how you miss all targets? How you miss all of them? That's insane. That is crazy. Yeah, I gotta let me know. I gotta search up more. My uncle just texted me, told you the nail polish was a red flag. Oh man. Told you the nail polish was a red flag, man. Let me search up. Caleb Williams.
ball. It screams Caleb. I'm not gonna get into the gayness.
But now we're there now. So like, if you took this picture and you cropped it and zoomed in only on the football and the hands area, and you didn't know who it was, who would you think it was?
I would think it's a women's league.
It was a QB drill that you probably know more than me, where they're throwing the ball into the net, and I don't know if he was high or drunk, but
bro, something had, I don't know what something had to be wrong. Ain't no way that was for real. No way.
Do it everywhere but the net. And he's like right in front of it. Hey, you can tell right now though, we laughing. He's going through some real shit at home right now. He got some real shit going at home right now. I don't know if it's his family, his girl, if he ran out of nail polish, and we should pray for him right now. God, I was gonna throw a prayer out to Caleb Williams. I don't know what he's going through right now, but I can tell he's going through something. That spin around move, that anger that he's showcasing here on this field, and that walk away shows that he's not at ease right now. And I just pray that whatever he has going on in his personal life doesn't continue to affect his real life on the football field. Just name pray, amen. So yeah.
Can I do a prayer? Because I haven't done one in a while.
Sure, just keep it respectful, but yeah, come on.
Dear baby Jesus, as we come together, I would like to pray over Darnell Smith's prayer that he just prayed over Caleb Williams. Lord, I want to come out and be clear about this. He needs to actually come out and just tell everybody what he is. Just say, Lord, I know I'm Gabe, and I know I.
Let me stop playing that, dog. Let me stop playing that. Shout out to Coach JB. He a funny guy. He a funny guy. Here's some other clips of Caleb Williams at the Bears camp.
Oh
no! Straight to the defense. Straight to the defense. Okay, good throw right there. Okay. Okay, Caleb. Well, that was crazy, though. That was crazy. It's not easy realizing you suck at the next level. Yeah, it's not, but you know, you would have thought, like, knowing that you have the talent, that would make you a little bit less calmer, you know. But he probably didn't get the results that he wanted last year, so now he's kind of like, man, I need to make it happen right now. But he's still not too sure as to what he gotta do. He's still not too sure. All right, next, let's do the offensive coaches.
Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us.
Where have you seen the biggest area of growth?
Yeah, I think he's had a good handle on the offense, and I think over the
what's good, my boy Chef Drew. What's good. Appreciate you for putting up on me, my boy.
years, you've seen him produce really well. So I think the biggest change right now for him has been just some of the mental stuff and handling just different situations that can happen in a practice, that can happen in a game. And he's kind of taken that to a different level of either how he reacts to or how he doesn't react to some of the things that happen, or situations that can come up. I think that's been the biggest change.
I'm sorry, what's exciting you about Quinn? Has there been any moment in camp or the off-season program where you and Mike and Frank have sat down and said, we have something here? Has there been that moment of excitement with what you've seen from a rookie?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited about what he's doing, and he, every day he comes out, he gets a little bit better. He puts really good stuff on tape. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. When he does make mistakes, we're able to get them corrected, and he's willing to work. He's working on the little details that we're asking him to work on. Happy with where he's at.
And from a physical attribute
good praise. Quinn Ewers, okay.
standpoint, what he does well, what makes you think this guy can be a good NFL quarterback in time?
Yeah, I mean, he's still, obviously there's a long way to go for him. We're excited about where he is at this point, but there's still a lot of obstacles to overcome and things to continue to improve on. But I like I just like his demeanor. He's a very calm, cool, got a little swag about him. He doesn't get rattled, so that's a really good starting point for a quarterback position. He sees things really well. He can anticipate really well, and I think those are some of the things that I've liked what I've seen from him so far.
And two last things on him. Arm strength, how would it be compared to the average NFL quarterback? And accuracy, those two issues.
He's been really good in both of those. His accuracy has been good, and his arm strength. I mean, he's not Brett Favre, Matt Stafford in that category, but he has plenty for what we need.
Henning.
And AJ,
to correlate with that, Tua, basically.
I know one.
Here's the receiving coach. Shout out to Coach Prince.
He's doing great on as a punt returner, but he's a guy we have playing a couple spots, and probably the most improved out of the rookies so far. Early evaluations, but again, it'll be fun to see these guys against Chicago.
Isaiah had a question.
Yeah, no, that was the OE's question.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my
Robert,
question.
what have you seen from your slot receivers so far?
Yeah, I think all of them are working hard and buying into the whole thing, and all the receivers understanding that we're trying to build the best unit, and in the pass game they know they got to get open at the appropriate time, and sometimes they know they got to run for the love of the game to help their other guys get open. And we talk about getting the assist. We always talk about, hey, you got the assist on this play, but they also have all bought into the blocking aspect and understanding that the run game is obviously very important, and getting to those blocks on the nickels and the linebackers are going to be very important.
And Malik Washington, what have you seen from him? Because he's a guy he's a tough guy. He's a guy who does value blocking, and we've seen him on the return, so we know kind of his skill set. What have you seen out here in training camp?
Yeah, Theo, Malik's done a great.
Man, Coach can't stop thinking about Theo. I'm telling you, Theo, he got like a long-lasting impression on the coaching staff. I'm telling you, man.
Great job of really applying what our fundamental drills and applying it when we go one-on-one, 7-on-7 team. His releases have gotten better, and the top of routes have gotten better to create separation. And he's a guy, he buys in every day and works hard.
Let's be real, running a photography business takes more than just great photos. HoneyBook is how I organize my business.
Jalen did a great job in the offseason of coming back. He's head and shoulders above where he was this time last year. Again, that rookie transition to the NFL is different and it's difficult. And he worked his tail off at it last year. I think what he's done is he's benefited from now everything is familiar to him. There's nothing new that he's experiencing now. And so he's able to relax a little bit. He has confidence that he knows our plays, our system, our language, our assignments. Now he's got to go execute without some of the pre-snap things kind of weighing on him a little bit. He's much more confident in what he's doing, and I think we've seen that so far in camp.
In areas of improvement.
Okay, Jalen. Okay.
The biggest areas I think are consistency. It's just, and that's with all of them. We want everything to be seamless. I'd love for them all to be able to perform at the same level, interchangeable pieces, and they just go in and do stuff. And it's establishing consistency, and it's just establishing, of what he's going to be and what we're going to get from him every game.
Eric, how has Alexander Madison been able to have the camp that he has had? Like, is this what you guys expected out of him when you brought him in?
I don't predetermine expectations on guys. I think that's limiting to guys. So what I do is I put them in and let them showcase what they can do, and they'll determine it. The more you can do, the more reps you're going to get, the more exposure you're going to get to different things. And if you struggle in certain areas, then we probably won't ask you to do those things. But I don't come in saying, well, he's only going to do this and he's only going to get these 10 reps in practice because that's all he is. Because the reality of it is, based on the roster, you may need him to do more. And so if you haven't prepared him to do more, then is he at fault or am I at fault? I think I'm at fault then if I haven't prepared him and haven't exposed him to everything. Because if we need to go in a game and he's got to carry it 25 times in the game and play the whole, I don't want that based on just short yardage reps, because that's what we said he was when he came in. Make sense what I'm saying there? Yeah.
My bad for you.
No. It's a fair question, but again, I think it's just I think guys establish roles, and you have to give them the opportunity to establish their own role.
Is there something you wanted to focus with Devon this offseason? Like last year, it was the pass catching that he added into his game.
Yeah.
wanted to focus on?
I think the biggest area with Devon in developing this year is continuing to build on all the little things, whether that's a pass game, whether that's protection, whether that's little things in the run game. It's all those little details, because he does kind of touch all the different areas, but now it's making sure that he's gotten those looks, different coverages, different assignments, different protection looks. All those little things now is the area where we're trying to really just keep touching on things and keep developing him.
From my perspective, it seems like that first team line has done a good job of communicating and passing off, blitzes and all the stuff that Weave throws at you guys. Is that something that is the result of the chemistry of all the OTA and training camp reps you guys have banked together, or is that inherent to the players themselves?
Well, I think there's a lot there of us spending a lot of time together, and just we have a lot of open dialogue in the room. I think that obviously I have to be the one that initiates it and has the starting point of the dialogue, but players need to be able to communicate, right? And so that way I can understand how they think, and then other players understand how they think, And the good thing is that you bring that up is that we've had a lot of guys, we've had multiple players play with the first group, right? And then different guys play with the second group, and building that chemistry with guys that may not be viewed as a starter, and they're getting opportunities to be with the ones and show what they can do. And so we've had really good communication all the way around with that.
With the two young guys on the left side, how valuable will the leadership of guys like Brewer and Daniels be for Jonah?
Leadership is always really good. Leadership is always huge, and they're the ones that build that chemistry. And then the two, Pat and Jonah, have done a great job building their own relationship and making sure that they're clued in with each other and that their communication is solid.
What did you guys, what do you know about Ifedi, the new swing tackle player?
Glad to have him. Excited to have him, and I know he's played a lot of football, so that's always good.
Who was down?
Yeah, Jermaine Ifedi. That's the new tackle that we signed. I forgot about him. Jermaine Ifedi. Yeah. I thought, wasn't he a former first-round pick, right? Yeah, he was a former first-round pick. Big guy. He kind of reminds me of Olu Fashanu, the guy the Jets drafted. Let's go to his player profile. Let's go to his Instagram. Interesting. See if he put anything on IG yet. He hasn't posted. I guess it's him working out. Okay, he's working on his anchor. Okay, big boy. That's a pretty good workout right there. I like that workout. That's definitely helping out with the core. You got to sink your hips. It's okay signing. Nothing too crazy. Who knows? He could make the team. He's a league veteran, to be honest. He's been on a lot of teams before. A lot of teams. A former first-round pick. I just seen that. Former first-round pick. 6'6", 335 from Houston, Texas. Okay. Went to Texas A&M. Oh, he was out there when Johnny Manziel, Mike Evans, Ryan Swopes, all them boys were out there. Class of 2012. I got to see if he got any combine numbers to see his 40. If you run a fast 40, you're probably going to be a good fit in this scheme. if you run a fast 40. We're gonna check that out to see. You funny, Billy. You funny. You know, they not trying to be like our head coach. Not trying to be like that. You know, but very long arms from Infetti. 36-inch arms. Damn, that boy like a dinosaur. 10-inch hands. 5.27 40 hand. Whatever. Pretty good vertical jump for a guy who weighs as much as him, 324. That's pretty good. 24 on the bench, not bad. You know, so he has good numbers to be a good old lineman. You know, maybe he just has to find the right scheme. Maybe the Dolphins could be a good scheme as to where we could like get the best out of him. Maybe. You know, but nobody really talking about this signing. We also signed Brunskill. I think that's a good signing right there. You know, but shout out to Jermaine. You know, I like the signing personally. You know, just a guy who can make the team as a backup. That's what I think. All right. It seems like the Dolphins worked out some people today based off his extra. Today or yesterday. Let me go down. All right. There goes Zach Biggers. Make sure his ass stay low. You know, he tall, so we want to make sure he stay low. Look at Coach Weaver looking at him. Weaver got to make sure he do right. Hey, we picked you in the last round. You can lose your job at any point. Weaver peeping. Weaver peeping. Y'all peep that? Y'all see that? That's crazy. But you know, Weaver used to be a D lineman when he was playing. He used to be a D lineman, so you would expect him to be around the D line a lot. You would expect that. But good push by Zeke. Good push. Was there practice today? I don't think there was practice. No, I don't think there was practice. The only thing that really happened today. Oh yeah, Queen Ewers. I was out here, but I didn't really care for signatures. I just got this merch. I got this beanie from out there when I went out there and all that. Yeah, they treating Quinn like he the starter. They treating Quinn like he the starter. Yeah, I think I watched this. Yeah, I think I saw that yesterday. But yeah, shout out to Zach Sealer, signing that contract. You know, so Zach Sealer, he was the one that was really working hard when people say they not really working hard. You know, I didn't really mean it in that way, but Zach Sealer, he the one who's really working. When everybody else posting that they working, Zach Sealer, he's really working. That's why he's still here, and that's why everybody else is still gone. He was the one who came in every day, no matter what, and did what he had to do. If you didn't do that, at least you probably out of here. He's probably still not on the team. You know, so Zach Sealer, he definitely got my respect. You know, he probably gonna retire a Dolphin You know, you could officially say like the Dolphins were his team. Like at first, you would have to say the Ravens picked him up as a UDFA, showed some flashes, but he came to Miami and he made it home. Made it home. You know, but look at the type of guy that seems like a perfect fit for the Dolphins. A guy who's not even from there. You know, he a country boy. You know, but all you know about Zach Taylor is that he's not with the rah-rah, you know, all that fancy stuff. You know, he just gonna take care of his family, that's it, and go to work. That's all you're gonna do. That's all you're gonna do, man. So shout out to him getting that bag, securing that bag, generational wealth. Shout out to him.
Here in Miami, been an awesome ride. Can't wait for more years. Can't wait for this season. Fins up. Hey, you guys, Zach.
Look at Drew Rosenhaus. He might as well be the GM of the Dolphins, man. It's only right. It's only right, man.
Steeler here. Super pumped to extend here in Miami. Been an awesome ride. Can't wait for more years. Can't wait for this season. Fins up. Hey, you guys, Zach.
What you say, Billy? Little man holding that pen right. Hey, little do you know that's gonna pay for all your diapers. All right. Your dad, he about to get that bag. All you gotta do is sign that dotted line, and y'all rich. Y'all rich, man. Y'all rich. But shout out to Zach. Big inspiration. We love to see it. You know, just keep on taking care of the young guys as well, Zach. That's all we asking of you.
This guy probably going to be talking about him.
You know, he kind of reminds me like, who could I say? I don't know. He kind of like his own player. I don't know. You can't say JJ. He's not like a JJ Watt type of guy. You know, he has similar playing styles like JJ Watt, but I don't think he like a JJ. I can't say JJ Watt. But shout out to them boys, man. They don't really got that much content up over here. Yeah, I'm trying to exit. Hold on real quick, y'all. Oh, a trade just happened? The Raiders are sending Jacorian Bennett to the Eagles in exchange for Thomas Booker IV. Interesting. Man, I don't know what I don't know what this is showing me, man. They go to Fin Extra. Go back to where I was. Who looked more smoother? I don't know. Tyreek Hill, he look That's a close one. That's a close one. I mean, Tyreek Hill, he look like he moving more faster, I say. I don't know, but both of them boys moving. There goes Zach Sealer. How much sacks I think Zach Sealer gonna get this year? How much? He look like he get a good 7 or 6. Good 7 or 6. That's good for a first year. There go Willie Gay. Willie Gay looking like Mississippi State Willie Gay. That's what he looking like.
Alone. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Tua, there's question marks with you, let alone if you're not even available. Don't let that fly over your head, dreads, or your toupee.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's questions with you, if you get hurt, there are definite questions with your backup. Peggy, who is Tua Tagovailoa's backup? Exactly. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Tua.
So Cam Newton with the threat. Cam Newton with the threat to Tua. You know, but there's a lot of pressure on Tua this year to perform. If you don't perform, people are going to continue to say stuff like this about him. Continuously. They go to pick the Minka that I seen. I think this is like the second or third pick 6 from Minka. Second or third, man. Minka, he like that. Yeah, Water with the one-handed grab. You know, you see a lot of highlight plays, but you don't know if it's going to translate. You know, if it's going to translate to the actual game. You just don't know. You just don't know. Shout out to Teddy. He plans on returning to the NFL again. You know, he got suspended from Northwestern, so I thought he was going to come back and coach this year, but I'm guessing he's going to try to sign with a team. We're going to see what team he go to. What team would take Teddy? What team? It probably got to be because of injury for a team to take Teddy. Probably. But that's interesting right there. Teddy, he back. This ain't Ollie Gordon. He gonna be the third down running back. You know, he seemed like he got the most power. It seemed like Jenna Wright, he's up there with him, but Ollie Gordon, that's what his game gonna be focused on, the power that he got. That's what he got to focus on. Yeah, it looked like it hurt if you're gonna try to tackle him. It looked like it hurt. It looked like he's ready for contact. Plus, I think he runs faster than what his 40 indicates. I think his 40 was like a 4.6, but I think he like 4.5, high 4.4 ranges. That's what I think. You know, there's not a lot of stuff coming out of training camp for the Dolphins, but for sure, I will be at that Jaguars one. I will be at that Jaguars one. Training camp. Okay, Rock Taylor. Rock Taylor. Let's search him up to see how good this guy look. They're saying he pressure. Undrafted free agent. So he probably working hard. That's probably what's going on. He's probably working hard. B McD said how much reps is Wright getting with the ones. I think A Chain's still getting most of the reps with the ones, but Jaden Wright, he's definitely second with the 1 reps. Definitely second. Then Alexander and Ali be mixing in with the 3rd. You know, but Ali mixed in with the 2nd as well with Jalen. But Jalen's 1st and 2nd. Ali's 2nd and 3rd. Alexander's 3rd and 4th. A Chain is 1st and 2nd. That's what I think. He looks smooth out there. He looked like a smooth runner. You know, I'm not saying they found the next AB. I'm not saying that, but yeah, he's solid. Well, good catch. Okay. Okay, not that bad. Up topping people. There's a lot of spread coming out around about this guy. Oh, he blocking too? That's Deshaun Elliott. That's Deshaun Elliott, former Dolphin too. I like that right there. I like that. Yeah, you gotta be on the lookout for this guy. Gotta be on the lookout. And Will Johnson. Bro, this guy been locked down from what I'm hearing. And from what I'm seeing on film, this guy, I don't know if we should have passed him up in the draft. We should have still traded up for Jonah. We should have still got whoever we got our first pick, you know, Kenneth Grant. And on top of that, we should have traded up for Will Johnson. Kenneth Grant, Jonah, Will Johnson, we would have been okay. We would have been okay. He did that to Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. He just oh my Lord. And like he got good hips to play DB. Very, very good hips. Very, very good hips, man. Like, who needs Jalen Ramsey when you got this? When you got this, you missed out on our opportunity. We should have got him. We should have got him. Definitely should have got Will Johnson. Based off of the depth chart, Will Johnson, he's already starting at DB. Already starting. Already starting.
Front, Mac, we got Akeem, OP, we got a few backers. We got Zaven up front, outside backer up front. Back end, we got Buddha, JT, Max, Garrett, Star. Yeah, I think we got everything we need on defense for sure. And then we got an explosive offense too, so I think we're gonna have a great year. I think people sleeping on it, so I think we got a great coaching staff, great training staff, great nutrition staff, we got great everything. I'm happy with everything we got. So, and we all, you can tell we all aligned, we all on the same, like we trying to get somewhere, we trying to win. We got it, bro.
I guess. Everybody gonna say the same thing about their team. Everybody gonna say the same thing. That's crazy, man. Oh, you don't get to see these plays. This was a good release by Marvin Harrison Jr. Very good release. That boy look like he got faster. I guess. But yeah, like I said, Will Johnson, it seems like he hit for the Cardinals. Seems like he hit. All right. Next person we got. I'm going to show y'all real quick. You got Jalen Polk, number 1 for the Patriots. We're going to check him out to see. Ooh. He look like he got better. Had that one in rotation. You know, I hate to give the Patriots credit. I hate to give it to them, but yeah, that was a good route right there. That was a good route. That was a good route. Yeah, he running hard out there. Jalen Polk, it seems like he's not playing this year. Seems like he's not playing. Patriots. Man, I can't wait till the season start, man. Cam Smith, he hurt. I don't even think he in now. I don't even think he in. Cam Smith is hurt. Here goes the new running back for the Patriots. We're going to check him out for a little bit. Okay, good catch. He like 5'9", 5'8", something like that. We're going to see how good he ends up being for the Patriots. Okay. I guess. But that was a good catch. Good catch by the running back. Good catch by the running back. There go Mike Vrabel. That boy having fun, man. That boy having fun. Oh, that's my time. Once I start seeing that, I'm like, nope. We on Twitter for too long. But let me check out the training camp schedule real quick. Miami Dolphins training camp schedule. All right. Okay, so what we in 8-4. So the next practice is Wednesday, Tuesday. So the 21st, I'm going to that practice. Right there. Jaguars. I thought, don't they practice for 2 days? Or is it just one for real? I thought it was 2 days. Yeah, that one I'm gonna try to get videos, actual clips. This last practice, I ain't really want to do that for real. But this one, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it for sure. So I might hop on live tomorrow, or I might wait until Wednesday the 6th. But once the games start coming on, I'm gonna do my daily bets. You know, I guess I'll show y'all that before I clear on the stream. I'm gonna show y'all the platform I'm gonna use. Hard Rock Bet. Oh yeah, I might just do that tomorrow. I might just do like a parlay stream tomorrow. Hold on. We already got an account. Hold on, I gotta log in. Hold on. Wow, man. Now it's not letting me show it. Now it's not letting me show it. Oh, you want me to look up Justin Fields highlights? Well, I could see if they got some. See how they look out there. Jets fans, so just so delusional. So delusional. What's up with Jets fans, man? What is up with Jets fans?
Back and you really look at the tape, there are some throws that he missed, but there's also some throws that he made that were really good throws that we have to make sure we catch also. So that goes both ways from his part, where some of those throws he got to make, and some of them guys got to make catches. So, like, I'm excited about that player. I'm excited about the things that he's going to be able to create for us. And every day, man, he just got to continue to keep chopping wood. And the type of person that he is, he's going to continue to do that. I think he's really improving. I really do. And
I don't know. Somebody in this division gonna have to lose. Somebody in this division. Wait, hold up. That boy look like Vic on that one. With the 7, he look like Vic out there. What? That boy's moving fast. Wait, somebody told me. Somebody told me Justin Fields is doing bad. That's what somebody told me. It don't look like it. Or maybe they just showing like the bad throws. I don't know. No, maybe they're just showing the good throws. Yeah, he got that little sidearm. His release got a little faster. I'm not gonna lie. His release got a little faster. Him and Garrett Wilson. Damn. I know Justin Fields, he does look good out there. I ain't gonna lie, he do look good. He do look good. If he ends up hitting for the Jets, I know the Steelers gonna be hot. You know, there's a world where Justin Fields ends up being a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers this year based off stats. It's possible, but we're gonna see who got the better team around them. We're gonna see. But yeah, man. Like I told y'all, let me see if I could show y'all this real quick. Yeah, it's not letting me show y'all, but I'm gonna be on this. I'm gonna show y'all my future bets tomorrow. For NFL only. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna tell you who I think gonna have the most interceptions, most passing touchdowns, most passing yards, wins, losses, all that. And I'm gonna do that before every game too. Put my picks in so y'all can know. But hey, y'all already know what it is. It's DGE, Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's your boy DG. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe for more content. Check my bio down below for all my inquiries. You already know what it is. Zion, McD, Billy, Chef Jew, everybody who pulled up. Planet Killer, Daniel Mayhem, if I'm saying it correctly, my bad. But yeah, I appreciate all y'all. I really, really do. But yeah.